I was thinking, a cure for this sort of effeminacy. It's funny, Aquinas uses the word effeminate, although, of course, there's a Latin equivalent, which is essentially meaning softness. That's what, when he says a man is being effeminate, he's saying a man isn't doing the thing he ought to do because of his duty. I think pornography is one way of making you soft. There are other ways. But I think devotion to the Blessed Virgin Mary is a great antidote to that. Not only are, as you say, women the pinnacle of creation, but she's the pinnacle of creation. She's the pinnacle.
Well, absolutely. And think about it, Matt. I mean, God starts the plan with the Blessed Virgin Mary in Genesis 3:15, the proto-evangelium, right? Or the first gospel with enmity. What enmity means opposition, but in Hebrew it's ebal, which means hatred. So literally it says I'll put hatred between, but I think that's a little bit too strong for the translators. But I know, but they put enmity. It was opposition between you and the woman, between your seed and her seed. Now, how do we know that the woman being spoken of there is Mary? Because think about it. Genesis 3 is the first 3 chapters of the Bible. There's only one woman. That's Eve. So, God's given the punishment to Satan between you and the woman, between your seed and her seed. Well, of course, it must be Eve. Just the only woman. How do we know it's not Eve? Here's 3 clues for me. 1, the punishment involves 2 people, the woman and the snake, but God's only talking to one of them. So, for example, we have a rule in our house when the twins were younger, right? Because it rains a lot in Oregon, right? So you can't play ball outside when it's raining. So I said, we have a rule in the house, no ball playing in the house. I was in the bedroom. I heard crash. I came downstairs. The lamp that was by the television was falling over on the floor, broken. There was a ball on the floor. There, the twins. Who did it? They're pointing at each other. He did it. She did it. He did it. She did it. Who did I punish?
I don't know.
Both.
Okay.
Punish both of them, right? So in Genesis, if the punishment involves a snake and a woman, why is God only talking to the snake? If the punishment involves, and if you think the woman is Eve, why is he not talking to both of them? If the punishment involves both of them. So the woman, that's my first clue. And by the way, snake, the word in Hebrew is nahash, which means monster. Also used in other parts of scripture as Leviathan. Some is translated as Leviathan, but it's a monster. It's not like a little garden snake wrapped around a tree that we sometimes see in medieval art. And by the way, the fruit, everybody thinks is an apple. The Bible doesn't describe what the fruit is, but in Jewish, if you look at the Talmud and stuff, it's a pomegranate, actually, is what they think the fruit would have been. But anyway, that's an aside. In this whole way of thinking about, I'm losing my train of thought.
He's talking to Genesis.
Yeah, so that's my first clue. He's only talking to the snake and not talking to both of them. Second, he calls her the woman. Now, remember I said, when you want to say something important, how many times do you say it?
3 times.
3 times, okay? So let's look. Wedding Feast of Cana. Jesus is there with some apostles, some disciples, Blessed Mother is there, and they ran out of wine, right? Now, Middle Eastern hospitality, you ran out, that's a big deal. I mean, Middle Eastern hospitality is paramount. So the Blessed Mother's embarrassed for the family. She goes to her son, they have no wine. And Jesus' answer seems disrespectful. Woman, what is this between you and me? Like, woman, I imagine my son Benjamin. Colleen says, clean your room. Benjamin says, woman, what is this between you? Ooh, Benjamin, you in trouble, right? Don't come to me because you did this to yourself, right? I mean, that's disrespectful. So on the surface, it sounds like what Jesus is saying is disrespectful. That's not what's going on at all. The Blessed Mother is asking him to do something supernatural, so he refers to her by her supernatural name, woman, referring back to Genesis, right? That's first clue. Second, on the cross, he gives care of his mother to John. He says, woman, here is your son. Son, here is your mother. Not only was he doing supernatural, he's entrusting the care of the church, of which Mary's the archetype, trusting the care of the church to the apostles. So he calls her woman, supernatural again. Third one, Revelation 12:1. The woman with the crown of 12 stars around her head, clothed with the sun, the moon under her feet, pregnant. That's Mary, right? So, how many times? 3 times. Third and biggest clue, between your seed and her seed. Interesting. Who's the one that provides the seed in a relationship?
Men.
The man. But in Hebrew, clearly, her seed. I only know one woman that provided the seed, the complete human nature for her child, and that was Mary. So right there, God sets a plan in motion, right? What he's saying to Satan is this: you used a woman to be a vehicle to bring sin into the world. I'm going to use the most blessed of all women to be a vehicle to bring salvation into the world. So he's using the greatest of his creation to be a vehicle to bring salvation. What? That's awesome.
And we should point out too that this was understood by the early church. This isn't like medieval inventions or reading into it too enthusiastically.
Right, and see, and this is some of the things exactly. This is one of the things that underpin our understanding of the Blessed Virgin Mary. We don't worship her, right? We don't give her latria, right? That word's only to God. But we honor her because of the role that she played in salvation history. She's awesome. And I think that every priest, even though they're celibate, has to have an intimate relationship with the Blessed Mother if they're going to have a fruitful priesthood. There's no question in my mind about that. I mean, I love praying the rosary every day. Sometimes I pray on the plane, and stuff. I'm not embarrassed to pray the rosary in front of whatever, I mean, and again, reflecting on the mysteries of our salvation through the heart of the Blessed Mother, because our soul was pierced so that the thoughts of many hearts may be laid there, so she understands what it's like to lose someone that you love, someone that you are physically part of. She understands that pain. And she was there and saw it happen, so when we're going through something, we can look at it through the eyes and the heart of the Blessed Mother. It's that relationship we have with her is so beautiful.
Someone I've been reading more and more is St. Maximilian Kolbe. He had 2 doctorates. He never wrote systematically, but in his letters, he outlines a lot of beautiful things about the Blessed Mother. And one thing I love that he does is he essentially stands before her and asks a question: who are you? Like, who are you? He says, I don't even know what it means to be a creature of God, much less an adopted son of God. Like, what does that mean? I can't comprehend it. This is beyond me. So then who are you? Mother of God, spouse of the Holy Spirit, daughter of God the Father. He says, you're not God, I know that. You're not Eve, I know that. You're not an angel. Who are you? Like the absolute awe we should have in front of the one who gave milk to our bread, to quote Augustine, right? Amazing. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment below letting us know what you thought about the video.